Kofi and what am I saying? Kofi and Zaphros made it really far. And good stuff to them. They're both really good players. But they're up against Mr. E and Vinnie, who are pretty much two of the best players on the island. Like, the only person other than them that's, like, on their level, really, is the Buzz. Granted, there's, like, Stocktaker, Sohn. They're putting in a lot of work. Suarez. It's a new game, though, so, like, there's going to be, like, different results. But, like, I think, you know, like, we all know, like, how good they were at Smash 4. So, like, I just hold that at, like, very high value. So I don't think – I still feel like – even though it's a new game, it's still going to probably be an uphill battle for Red Team here. But let's see what they can do. I have faith that they can clutch it out.
Yo, the fact that Vinnie and
this stage is not legal
on the current rule set, that's true.
Yeah. They probably just realized that, or maybe they were just like, I don't know. Maybe they picked it by accident. That can happen.
Well, I don't particularly have an issue with Frigate. It is not a legal stage anymore, so like.
I think the main reason why it was like is the camera angles, and it's just like a stage that doesn't really benefit character. Like, I don't know.
It benefits Swordy is really strong.
It does. All right. Well, then it really shouldn't be legal.
I'm just saying it benefits Swordies really well. Characters that can afford to go out deep can make massive use of the stage, because the stage itself kind of small, but the space around is really big before it gets to the camera bounds and the blast zones. It's kind of like Dreamland and Melee, but
okay.
Like,
all right, so it's bad. That's what you're telling me.
It's a weird stage. I wish
this is a fantastic stage. Although I'm actually very so I was so they explained to me like why this is being used over PS1. But I've been playing PS1 on Wi-Fi, and I think I might like it more. But
there are differences.
Yeah, I like that the platforms are lower, personally.
They're very slightly lower. They are, and it helps a lot more characters get onto them with a full hop. The bottom of the platform is shaped differently.
Yeah.
Like, PS2 is a bit thicker. PS2 is a lot more like a plate on a stick.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what difference that really makes, but...
It's the matter of recovery for some characters.
Oh, you meant the ledges, not the platform.
No, the ledge is actually fairly similar. Just like I'm talking about like beneath the base platform.
Right. Well, they explained to me that like, oh, it's not as likely that you're gonna get stuck underneath the stage on PS2, but like I still see it happen all the time.
Yeah, no, that's an irrelevant point. If anyone brings that up to them, just explain to them like
it's if they're
if you're getting stuck under the ledge on PS1, it's happening on PS2, and they're too bad of a player to really credit whether or not PS1 or PS2 is better for them.
Like, I mean, I don't know.
Someone who's really well studied can explain the idea that like, hey, I like this stage being a little bit thicker and the pole being wider, because then it means there's less space for me to get hit up there. But then also,
I will say that this stage does look a lot nicer, like the background, and it's just cleaner.
Aesthetically, I like it.
Yeah, aesthetically, it's nicer. So I mean, that alone could be like the breaking thing, because like it also does kind of matter for the viewers. Like they want to see some nice stuff. Like this is a new game. We want to make it look as nice as possible, as fun looking as possible.
But as far as mechanic differences go, the platforms on the stage, probably one of the biggest, which you already brought up.
Yeah.
But also one thing that is kind of an interesting note is that the camera bounds and the blast zone on, I think it's PS2, are several units shorter. So they're closer up to where the players are. And what that means is that moves that'll kill like downwards are going to do so earlier. Now, if something's spiking you and you're like at 100%, you're dead no matter what. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
But say, for instance, you get like a very light spike and you have your opportunity to recover, you could do so more easily on Pokemon Stadium 1.
I could see it being like an Omega FD type thing where like you can pick one or the other. That would be very interesting. I would be willing to try that.
I'm actually surprised no one's brought up that that option, because that'd be something I'd be willing to test. Or at least me personally, as far as
really, I mean,
AON.
are you sure? Because I have pretty bad opinions.
I mean, you having bad opinions is a meme. Sometimes you just have questionable opinions, but you usually back them up well.
Yeah,
but on this, it's something like...
I'm just saying it because it's what people are saying now, and, after 4 years of hearing it, it's kind of gotten on my nerves.
Bro, people say it all the time. After a while, just gotta, like, shrug it off.
Yeah, we're...
But, like, as far as PS1 and PS2 go, it's all about how you use the base platform being really wide.
I've been liking PS1 a lot whenever I played on Wi-Fi. I think it's, like, it's really cool. It's also, like, I feel like it's darker, so I like it. Like, it's easier on the eyes. I haven't noticed anything on that camera thing, but, I mean, that does seem relevant.
The PS1 is really silly with its camera because sometimes it'll zoom in on someone during a 1v1, and it gets really trippy because it'll, like, catch the camera itself, and you'll see, like, 7 different versions of a character.
What the hell? That's weird. I have not experienced anything that remotely feels like what you described, but, you know, I'll keep an eye out for that if I ever play it more.
Yeah, if you're around late tonight, I'll show you in a friendly.
Okay. I might be out late. I'm very tired, though. We'll see what happens. I usually end up staying for a while because, you know, this game is really addicting. Well, let's see. What's going on in the match right now? Blue team has a slight lead. It's a little bit of a fake lead, though. Mr. E can die at any point, but if they can hang on to the stock and get some extra credit, that'll be a big deal. And it looks like that's just what they're doing. Zaki is having a bit of an issue landing. Zaphros, that is. And he's taking a lot of damage, so they're gonna need to clean up Marth. They're gonna need to clean up Mr. E's stock right now.
Almost at it.
Yeah, but not quite. And Marth's recovery is extremely safe and hard to challenge. So he's gonna get back on basically for free. All right, they got it. So now they gotta like make up the difference here, but that's pretty difficult. If they can take the stock off of Vinnie, that'll improve their chances quite a bit. 2v1s, even if the two players have huge percents, it's still an advantage.
Yeah, I think it's just the issue that it's E that has the high, like the very healthy stock. If it was Vinnie, I feel like it'd be much more doable, but like fighting E on the.
Well, either way, that's not what happened, and we're gonna have a 2v1 in favor of blue team. So Kofi's gonna want to look to end Vinnie's stock, so he's gonna probably keep trying to rush him down, but Eric's not gonna let that happen. All right. So, like, the reason Vinnie went for that is because it's really hard to combo off of throws in this game because of the balloon knockback, which I find extremely annoying. But he just tried to sort of fair him while he was in the grab, which is actually easier to do now. But he ended up hitting Mr. E, which is unfortunate. So it probably would have ended the stock. But Mr. E with the up B to shield, which is a very good option in this game, much better than it was in 4. I would compare it to about how good it was in Brawl. Probably not quite as good because I don't think it comes out like frame 2, but it's definitely seems like very solid. It might come out frame 2, I'm not sure.
I can't wait until frame data for this game is like readily accessible.
It probably is. I think I'm just too lazy to look it up.
Not everything. I know Kuragana Hammer is like the go-to guy for compiling a lot of info, and he's like slowly but surely getting everything together.
Okay. Yeah, he was pretty reliable on when it came to Smash 4, so my assumption is he'll end up being the go-to.
Like, he's getting it done slowly, because the character parameters were, people got the character parameters about a month ago.
Yeah.
And, like, from that data, you can extrapolate, like, how we usually look at shit, whether it be, like, frame data for move startup, like armor frames,
yeah,
invulnerability frames, that kind of stuff. So, like, it's available. It's just it being readily accessible via the internet and in a really easy-to-view page.
Yeah. Like
on Kuragana's website.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Because, like, we've had stuff like run speeds, walk speeds, weights, air acceleration. That stuff was really, he put up really fast because that's kind of easy to find.
Yeah.
But then, like, other stuff just takes a bit more time.
Gotcha.
Plus, like, he's a human being. He's got his own life.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's just a given. So it looks like we're here on Unova, a stage I like a lot.
Yo, so this stage...
I couldn't believe it wasn't immediately on the stage list. I don't know what took so long, but...
it's actually not on our current stage list.
Yes, it is.
Do we?
Yeah.
Because I
just played in bracket and it was there. So.
Oh, lit. I love this stage.
Stage is amazing. Got walls, big platforms, so that's what, like, you know, and it's not, like, the base is not as big as PS2. That's what sets it apart. You know, people think, like, oh, it's redundant with, I always say PlayStation. It's redundant with Pokemon Stadium. I'm like, no, it's not. It's the
base stage smaller, platforms wider,
walls.
Different blast zones. The walls are a bit janky, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, but once you figure them out, it's really not a big deal. Like, you can wall jump on any part of the wall in this stage, so just be close enough to where the wall is at that point. Like, I don't know. It's something that's in completely your control. It's not like Lilat where the tilt is random and, you know, there's no way of knowing when the ship is going to tilt and when to take advantage of that or when you're going to get screwed by it. Like, you know, it's not RNG, so it's fine. You know, like, there's a difference between, you know, wonky shaping that is stagnant and actual random number generator hazards. You know, like it's like not even comparable. You know, comparing this to like the jank you get on Lilat or even Dreamland is ludicrous to me. That being said, there are stages that I don't understand how people are arguing should be legal, but that's a story for another time. Right now we have a relatively close match. Kofi lost his first stock, but if they could take a stock off of blue team, then they should be good to go. Zaki is definitely stock tanking right now and able to clean up Mr. E's stock. So basically even right now. Blue team with a slight lead, which means they can force the approach. But not if Kofi cleans up the stock off of Vinnie, which is going to put red team in a favorable position. So one of the issues right now, as you just saw, like, it seems like, oh yeah, red team's winning, but like, I mean, once this, in that scenario, Zaphros is going to want to start camping because he doesn't want to die, so it's going to basically put Kofi in this 2v1 scenario, or they'll just end up yielding stage control because they want to stay away from their opponent. So it's like such a minimal, it's like a minuscule lead. I think when you have that position, like your teammate's in high percent, you're at low percent, and you're one stock ahead because of the high percent guy, I think you actually want to approach and try to get as much extra credit as possible. You don't actually want to camp and try to survive because you're going to die soon anyway. You might as well try to get that extra credit. So I think that was a missed opportunity there for red team. It's one of those things about understanding doubles and understanding, you know, how to press your lead. You know, it's not always the correct option to actually force approaches. Sometimes you actually want to go in and get that extra credit, especially in doubles, I feel. And now Zaphros lost another stock. I wasn't paying complete attention as to how it happened, but it seems to have happened pretty early.
Yeah, on the right-hand side of the stage, Vinnie got him off stage, and then Vinnie crossed him up while down airing across his shield. I was actually just thinking about that because earlier I had to see Vinnie in bracket, and I was noticing with his Daisy, he was either just like waiting in front of my shield for a response when he could have just been using Dare to pressure.
Yeah.
Dare from the Princesses does a really good job of not only poking through the shield itself, but just damaging shield enough to the point where it's super easy to shield poke.
Yeah, it's been their best move for like 3 games in a row now. It's a very potent option that it's like unrelenting pressure because you can't let go of shield because if you do, they'll just nair you or keep daring. Shielding is just bad versus Daisy Peach. You just don't do it. Just anti-air them. Like there's no like shielding against them. Just there's no you get nothing off of it except shield poked. Or,
you know, in this
like
at this point in time, shielding is like one of the worst situations that you could be sitting in.
Oh yeah, it's completely horrible. However, I think it's like always been bad to do it against Peach Daisy, like it, or rather in other games against Peach because Daisy wasn't available in those games. But like it's just never been a good option against them because like even if Shield, let's say Shield was good in this game, it still would suck because for the same reason. Like there's just it's too much pressure at once, and that counter's gonna end the set.
Zach, you could have still made that back. If he air dodged towards the stage, he would have had enough time to up B. Mind you, I think Eric would have been able to cover the option.
I don't think that's true. He would have had too much unleg. He was a bit too low. The lower blast zones on Univo are very low, and I think, oh, it's a best of 5.
No, they just reset bracket. Because Vinnie and Eric were coming in from...
Oh, that's right, that's right. All right, well, okay, so they had a set to play with. That's good. Like, they're probably thinking to themselves, okay, obviously that's not how we wanted it to go, but at least we got some information. Let's see, we're Falco and Mario. I'm not sure Univo was actually the ideal pick there. We have some... What did they strike? They must have struck either Battlefield, not Battlefield, either FD or Kalos. So you just take them to the other one. You want, I feel like against these swords, you want to have as much space to maneuver around them as possible because they cover so much space. You know, like, Univa is a very small base. Not a lot of room to maneuver. Don't feel like that was a good counter pick.
I think the issue is that blue team's separating into the separate 1v1s really easily, and I feel like it's a lot easier for them to mask how aggressive he is being and the lack of controlled space that Vinnie has when they go in these 1v1s. Whereas if Zaphros and Kofi force this to be like a close quarters battle, and even better yet, find themselves in the 2v1 situation, they could focus Vinnie a lot better and just sort of like wean out a lot of the stocks through Vinnie.
Maybe. Blue team with a slight advantage here. Let's see what they do with it. Let's see if they follow my idea of putting on pressure in order to gain that extra credit. Does look like that's the case, as you can see. See how high of a percent Vinnie's at, but he's still approaching? Like, look at all that extra credit. 90% on Kofi. That's a big deal. Like, you got to pay attention to that, you know?
Yo, that up throw really doesn't put him anywhere anymore.
No, it's really good. It's just that there's like slightly more cooldown on it, but because of the increased hit stun, it still combos into Dare. But there might have been too much Rage on Zaphros there. Rage still is in the game. It's not as potent, but it definitely plays a role. I've noticed, you know, a lot of combos don't connect when you're at higher percent. So yeah, makes it harder to press advantage after you've taken the stock. Honestly, you know, back in the other game it was easier because yeah, your combos didn't work, but you killed them at 50, so it doesn't matter. And they had to respect it. And now that's no longer the case. Kofi choosing to try to help Zaphros there. Probably was the right idea. It's always hard to know whether you should edge guard your opponent or go help your teammate. I've always struggled with that.
It's just one of those aspects of doubles awareness that you grow over time. Plus, like, you're never going to choose the right option 100% of the time.
Of course, yeah.
Because there are some times when you could go to edge guard, but the opponent you're edge guarding could be like completely incompetent in the situation. It take a lot longer to come through. And then there's other times where you end up finding someone, say for instance like E, who is really good at handling a 2v1 on his own. So maybe going for the edge guard would have been optimal.
Yeah.
Like,
although it's really hard to edge guard Peach and Daisy, so perhaps Kofi was just like, you know what, screw this. I'm just gonna go fight Mr. E. Like, I don't need to try to edge guard this difficult to edge guard recovery when I can just 2v1 my opponent. So I think that was like the decision maker there. You know, like I guess if Vinnie was playing like Incineroar or something, he might have gone for something, but ooh, Vinnie not punishing that side B to allow Kofi to get a big combo.
Yeah, I feel like Vinnie still needs some more time to get just used to the movement behind the princesses, just because they're...
Well, it's not even just that. He's playing, yeah, of course, yeah, he's playing a new character. A lot of people are thinking like, oh, it's the new game. It's not really. He's not playing Sheik or Ice Climbers like he wanted to because, he doesn't feel comfortable playing them in this game. A lot of people that are picking up new characters rather than playing the ones they were good with in the previous game are having more trouble than players who are just playing the same character and are basically doing the same thing. Just like they only had to learn new mechanics, not really a new game. So it's it takes less time for them to adjust. Vinnie, on the other hand, he's trying to put time into this Daisy.
I think it's a good move.
I mean, his Daisy solid beat me. But, it's going to take, I think it'll take him, a bit to get to the point where he was in Smash 4. But he can definitely do it. He has the talent, he has the experience, and he has the confidence. We all know, like, what he's capable of. And he's showing us right now, Kofi may be good with literally every character ever, but like on PGR, or on PGR level, I can do this. Yeah, see, look how smart he is, He's only been playing the character for a couple weeks. I don't think I ever saw him play Peach in Smash 4 or Brawl, and like, look how good he already is. He's beating Kofi in that 1v1, and Kofi's no slouch. I've never seen anyone as good at the random button as Kofi. Kofi and Zaki thinking, you know, they lost 3 games in a row. You know, they're probably thinking, all right, you know, what can we do different? What can we clean up? Talking it out right now. How can we adjust to this? You know, it's not like it's not like it isn't close. It's just you know, they can't seem to clutch it out in the end. So there's something they're missing. I feel most of the time they're trailing, even if the stocks are the same. Their percents are you know, too high. Might be discussing something about that. Might be talking about a counter pick. I think they want to have as much space as possible to maneuver around Mr. E's Marth, as well as, you know, have movement so that they're not forced into a corner and forced to shield against, you know, Vinny's dare pressure. The extra space, I think, is a good idea against this team as Falco and Mario. It looks like they're going to run it back. I don't think this is a bad idea. Doesn't seem like it's the stage, really, that's, you know, hurting them as much as it is just the trailing constantly, always having to come back from behind. And right now, Vinny and Mr. E have yet to take any damage until just now taking damage from that Phantasm. And this is not a good start for Red Team. We're already in the same situation. I can never get over how cool Falco's down air looks, down throw looks now. All right, let's see. Vinny with a very committal option. But Mr. E is going to help him get back onto the stage by fighting Zaphros there. Red Team getting tossed around right now. It looks like Blue Team really got the download on pat. You know, I really hope my match wasn't called. I feel like I've just gotten DQ'd or something.
I like just right. So big.
Yeah, this is annoying. I want to go home and sleep.
Yo, this is brazy.
Did they put me in losers?
Yeah.
They did?
That's you, right? Oh, wait, no, you're cute.
Yeah, but they might have just put in karma. It's did they put me in losers?
Hold on.
Yeah, they DQ'd me. Oh well. Oh wait, there I am. What? Who's karma then? That's the third karma.
Yeah, it's a pretty common tag.
Yeah, that's why I changed it, because I got messages from 2 people, and I was like, oh, oops. Yeah, come in. I just didn't want people calling me by my name anymore. Like, what happened was I applied for, a second job, and they didn't give it to me because they found out I was playing gaming competitively, and they thought it was, like, an irresponsible thing. I was like, all right, I guess I don't want my name, like, involved. Like, I don't know. Wow, look at that combo from Vinny. Already doing all the crazy Peach Daisy stuff that I could never do. Wow, that forward air goes for Lindy's. Yeah, this is looking like a wrap.
Yeah, the boys are getting sauced. It'd be like that.
They just couldn't find the answer, and it looks like, and in the end, they just, ooh! In the end, they got a little tilted. Just like,
I don't even think it's tilt. I think it's just like...
Well, I mean, losing 3 games in a row is going to put a lot of pressure on you to take one.
Oh, yeah, the pressure's definitely on, but it's like...
It's not the kind of tilt like you would say is like frustration tilt. It's more just like they feel overwhelmed. You know, like having 2 sets to work with and not being able to take a single game and just getting all of their options beat out like that. That was hard to watch. The other matches were a lot closer. It just seems like they collapsed under pressure, and Blue Team had also just downloaded them. Vinny smiling.
And with that,
Seems
our
pretty
doubles
content.
bracket. is over. Singles will be on this stream soon, so make sure to stay tuned for that. I am going to go throw out my dinner. Come to Orion.
I wish I could.